Like,
just cancel the game.
Why not postpone the game?
Just cancel the game. It's not like...
Why do this?
Well, just...
They just slid him back 10 yards right there.
You can just slide the whole team?
Yeah.
Come on.
You haven't played until you played in that. You're like, I don't play there. Right?
This is like when the parents in the school was like, man, we are definitely not going to try to play this again on another Friday.
Yeah.
This is it.
Okay, either of you ever been struck by lightning?
No, thank God.
No, I mean, being on this show feels like being struck by lightning sometimes, you know?
Oh, okay. Because being struck by lightning is life-threatening and painful.
Yeah, sometimes, but you know how sometimes people use it in a romantic sense? They're like, it feels like I got struck by lightning when I met you.
Okay, okay.
Like
That's
it was
a
a-
weird phrase, because it's like, so did it feel like death when you met them?
Yeah. Look, I
Yeah.
don't think anybody says that.
I think they do.
Hey, look, but the truth is, you got pretty good odds of getting struck by lightning. 1 in 15,000 people get it. You know what I mean?
Not here in LA.
Not 1 in 15.
1 in 15,000 people get struck by
This
lightning.
is a fake statistic. I'm
I'm
normally
not
gonna
saying
let you
crazy.
bet.
Hey, look, what
That's
I'm not
not real.
saying is it's not fake, but I'm saying it's reliable, okay? This category right here is pure lightning strikes. Take a look.
That's the neighbor, though.
Damn, they took out the neighbor's grill.
Bro, he's so old, he didn't even turn around.
No.
He was just like, I'm gonna
he
just
thought
keep it
he-
moving.
He thought he died.
Yeah.
He thought he died.
You got it.
Here we go. Man. Whoa.
Look at him lie. It hit my ball. It's in a complete different direction. You guys see that? I should get extra points for that, right?
Who plays top golf in weather like this anyway?
This guy.
And the Lord, man.
Why would the Lord hit the
Hey.
only building he owns?
That's it, man. You're gonna wake some people up in there. Don't forget about me.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
You gotta practice what you preach. I'm right here. No more lying in your prayers, Debbie.
Oh, that was crazy.
Man, that
I'm
was
not
like,
even sure what happened.
That's like actually seeing lightning up close. You know what I mean?
Oh, bro, it fell right in between their cars?
Did it?
It's
No,
a
did
fun-
it touch the truck?
Wow.
Where's J.J. Abrams? This feels so crazy.
Having a good time. Oh, we got a runner.
He was walking before that?
Yeah, it was like, I could die. Oh, McLovin. There you have it for lightning strikes. Okay, I don't know how many times I've said it, but I hate wind. Okay?
I know, and it's so funny because every time it's majorly windy in LA now, I literally think of you and I'm like, I feel like Rob caused this somehow.
Oh, man.
Because you talk about it so much and I never noticed it before that.
Man, I just started thinking about how windy it was the other day out of nowhere, and I'm so pissed. You know what I mean? It's like I can't enjoy life with wind. You know what I mean? And my fear is, you know, like where I'm building my house that I'm doing forever. It's out on this like promontory that just feels like a wind zone.
Yeah.
And like my greatest fear is that I finally, after all these years, finish the house and move in, and I'm in a windstorm 7 days a week. You know what I mean? I tried to even talk through, is there any way that we could build something underneath it that the wind catches the wind and whips it out? And you're like, no, the wind is just winding, you know what I mean? The wind doesn't come from the ground, you know? Anyway, this category is filled with people being attacked by wind. Take a look at Blown Away. Uh-oh.
Just hold on to it.
Hang on. Damn.
Like, bruh.
Look.
Like, how much is the tent worth to you that you're holding
That's what
on
I'm
to
saying.
it?
Like, this party's over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
No one's coming.
no,
You got smacked by
oh,
bullets.
man.
You're just getting jumped by them at this point.
Like, you're
Man.
trying to do the most. Just take one at a time, bro.
Yeah. No. You are just sliding over there.
Okay. All right. We've got our family. We must just get to our apartment.
Yeah. You gotta walk
Man.
backwards, fam.
Go.
Oh my God!
Just goodbye.
Oh my God, the baby.
Yeah, look, I would move away from this city instantaneously. Too much wind for anyone to even exist. There you have it for Blown Away. Welcome back to Ridiculousness. Okay. One thing that's always scary, and the worst nightmare is when your house floods, okay? Like when you walk in and it's like water in your bathroom, in your kitchen, doesn't matter what it is, you know that it's permanent damage, that you're Have you been through it?
No, we had a flood in our basement when I was growing up, but also we hadn't finished the basement yet, so it didn't matter.
Okay.
So I never got to experience like seeing a flood destroy. It was just like, yo, it's water downstairs and go downstairs.
Yeah. It's just me, so I guess the far side of that is I own a house and it floods and I'm like, I need to get rid of this. You know what I mean? It is the worst when it happens, but this is at a high level. Take a look at indoor storms. Okay, what do we do? What do we do? I'm gonna open the door, bro. Don't open the door.
Oh my God, I don't want to see what's about to happen.
Don't open the door, bro. I shouldn't have opened it. What the
What even happened?
Like, where are you?
What even happened for this to happen?
Man, he's gonna drown.
Yeah.
You need to get out of there.
Wait, what? Not during surgery.
Oh, okay.
There's
Where the hell
no
is the
way.
hospital?
And you trying to tell me you just can't move? You gotta get an umbrella, you can't move him?
It's gotta happen here, sir.
I'm getting hurricane vibes with this.
I know, it's like, everything about it's weird. Whatever it is, you shouldn't open an umbrella inside. Hey, I don't care how long it takes me, I'm gonna drive this place out.
I'm not mad at him, though.
No.
He's lazy. But he's working.
He's working. Hey, I'm working too. Nothing but beer and ciggies. What in the Look at it. Look at it. What are you even doing? Okay, first of all. Go back up, man.
Literally.
But like this person tries to grab him because he's the culprit for some sort of significant flood.
Yeah. And they're yelling at him too. No.
You go back in there and plug that. Oh no, I'm out.
Whoa, what you doing, bro?
Whoa.
What you
I'm
doing,
up
brother?
on here. Wham! Yeah.
What the f is going on?
Yeah.
The lady was like, just wiped it off.
Okay, when it rains, do you ever go outside and enjoy it?
Yeah, sometimes.
I like it more when I'm like in Florida and it's warm rain.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the rain I hate.
No, I like that.
That's disgusting.
I like that. Because when it's cold rain, then you're like extra cold.
That feels
Yeah.
like it's supposed to happen. Warm rain just like God spitting on us. He's like,
Hey, man, look, when you're like in Hawaii or somewhere where it gets cloudy, pours rain, and it's sunny like every 5 minutes, you know what I mean? That warm rain is kind of nice.
Yeah.
You like
know
that?
what I mean?
In Miami, you like that rain?
I don't mind getting wet if I'm still warm. If I'm getting wet and I'm like freezing, then it's just like extra annoying.
But
you know?
Hawaii's nice. I've been there.
Yeah.
Miami is different rain. We're talking about different rain.
Well, I mean, look, it is Florida sweat.
People like it. I literally one time saw people in a convertible
Just
top
soaking it
down,
up.
and I'm like, yo, how does this work? Are you just gonna let the rain go in your car?
We're visiting.
No, hey, it's a rental. We love rain. That's basically everybody in this category who say, rain won't stop me. Take a look. Okay, now
Next move wins.
this is like two people that hate to lose.
Yeah. Let the game go, man.
Here we go.
Brutal conditions.
Brutal conditions.
No way he makes this. Oh, let's
Man,
go.
okay, what?
Don't jump in that water.
What?
I'm rich.
I'm so rich. Donnie's gonna love this story. Oh, man, it's not gonna clean itself. Rain isn't a power wash, trust me.
Why are you doing this?
Now it's really clean.
You must get paid by the hour.
Oh, man, he got something to do tomorrow. There's no way you're gonna commit to this unless you really don't want to do this tomorrow.
It's cutting it easier.
Man, in the Midwest, Sundays are for cutting. Rain or shine. We'll be right back with more ridiculous news. All right, look, it's been raining crazy out here. It doesn't rain here for long stretches. It felt like it rained for like 3 months straight.
Oh my goodness.
Felt that way.
I just start to go crazy. I don't like it.
You don't like the rain? For a couple days.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
but
like
not
you
that
get
long.
used to it never raining, then it rains, everything just starts, you know, you really get to understand how weak your house is.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks of rain, like an umbrella, how am I supposed to even carry this around? What do I do with it
No,
when I
for
get
sure.
into the car?
I agree.
You
The
know what I mean?
weather, the rainy weather is very
You know, how do
annoying.
you feel about rain? Are you indifferent? Does it rain a lot where you
I
live?
like it I live in Atlanta, so it does rain, but I only like it for like a day or two, have a lazy day, and then get back to the sunshine.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
like
good
it
with
for
that,
like
too.
a whole week.
Out here it's different because people can't drive in the rain. They're not used to it so much. They
Yeah,
can't drive in the rain.
yeah.
And the sewer system is not even built for the rain.
That's right.
Really?
So if you have
Right.
3 days of rain, you swear you're in a tsunami.
You're in a flood.
That's it.
You're like, oh, it's
That's
over.
it.
It's
That's
over
it.
now.
That's it. And like trash can, if it rains in the middle of trash day, like week, you know what I'm saying? Like then the trash cans are just floating down the
Yeah.
city. All the mud's pouring into the streets, and all of us are crazy. We're just going crazy out here. Which is basically everybody in this category, because they all got rain brain. Take a
Okay.
look. We're just losing it. Oh, you got it. Oh, man.
Hey, those pants was too tight in the rain or out the rain.
tight.
It's
The
crazy.
fact that like you tried to jump over like whatever water there is when it is torrential,
Yeah.
and you paid the price with those spandex jeans.
And those Lululemon jeans.
Lululemon leggings.
Lululemon jeans.
How am I supposed to get to school? Look at this.
Boy, you wasn't going to school.
Bro. No, my slide, no!
Oh, goodbye, slide. You walking in your bare feet, buddy.
That's crazy.
no.
That's crazy.
Man, why you got this car out in that level of rain?
Why would you go
know.
that way?
Da, da, da.
She,
Okay.
Bruh, how far did she fall down? 6 feet?
Man, she just saved you from a sinkhole.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
seriously.
crazy. How she even fall that far?
She had to take one for that car, take one for the team.
Man, he's still dry, y'all.
That's crazy.
car. Oh, you don't have the cover? You don't have the cover.
That's that Jeep life, huh?
She didn't bring the cover with her.
Man, that sucks when you
Is
have
that
no
what
idea.
it is? Like a Jeep? Like if
yeah.
you have
if you
to
have
bring
no
it with
idea
you?
it's about to rain.
Yeah, I used to have one. You gotta bring the cover with you.
You put it in your trunk?
You leave it in the trunk, yeah, if you don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, but she obviously thought she knew.
Yeah, this is Florida.
Left it at the house.
Where she left the house, it was perfectly sunny, pouring rain 15 minutes later. Florida, there you have it for rain brain.
Rude.
Okay, either of you ever been involved in a serious flood?
Not serious. No,
Yeah.
not
No,
serious.
very lucky.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you guys haven't experienced more floods in California.
Yeah, I guess we sorta have, but it's like, I guess I would equate a flood to in my neighborhood where the water's running so fast, the trash cans get carried away.
Yeah.
And I had a minor like water leak flood, but I've never been in one of those real deal like
Oh, that's
lowland
scary.
like
Me
where
either.
your entire neighborhood turns into like a giant lake.
Right.
I don't
The
wish to
houses
either.
are floating.
Yeah.
That's it, and a lot of people enjoy those.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah. Okay.
You know, they turn that lemon into lemonade.
I guess.
You know what I mean? And they really enjoy some flooding, just like everybody in this category, flood fun. Man,
Just feels like you're destroying it as
Why
well.
does nobody have a shirt on?
Man,
Is the
Why
question.
would you?
Let-
Okay.
not-
They get it.
hey,
They get it.
the first thing you get rid of in a flood is your shirt.
Shirt for sure. Shirt and socks.
Like a raincoat would be nice.
Man, mom. Here she
Oh,
is.
no. Slow down.
Oh,
Here
girl.
she is.
Slow down.
No.
Oh, man.
I love how her man's not trying to help her.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's a neighbor just watching.
Yeah, and he can't breathe because it's so funny. I'm willing to die over this hilarity.
Okay. Does a dog like this?
Man,
He's standing so still. I'm
He's
impressed.
scared.
you're having the time of your life. Okay, do you know what natural disaster happens the most?
Oh, natural disaster. That probably a hurricane?
Sounds logical.
Yeah, hurricane or I don't know.
That's it. I mean, there's not that many. It's fires, tornadoes,
Earthquakes? I feel like
earthquakes.
they don't happen that often, though, but
They happen.
actually, they've been happening.
They've been happening, but I would
That's
probably
it.
guess hurricane. Yeah, I don't know.
But it's the symptom of them all. It's flooding.
Oh, flooding. Is natural
Flooding,
disaster.
right? Because
Okay.
it just rains everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And what happens? We're in the middle of it right now.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
But it's like pouring rain here, but we can't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it never gets like deep enough to where we can turn it into like a little river. Do you know what I mean? And,
There were
like,
places. I
There
saw a
was.
dude with a Porsche on like the 405 or something that was
I saw that
was
video.
floating, and I was like,
Oh,
how is
yeah.
this possible?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Scared
look,
me.
Look, he probably had a good time. You know what I mean?
He did
Imagine floating your Porsche down a river.
He was standing on top of it.
Okay, imagine surfing a Porsche in Los Angeles.
over.
That would be pretty amazing. Everybody in this category is in the middle of a flood and having a good time. Take a look at flood lovers. Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
wow.
Okay.
Bring out the fan
They
boat.
bring this out often.
Man, built for floods.
Yeah. I love
That's-
it. It seems like so much fun.
They are having a good time.
Yeah,
Look at
this
them waving.
gang.
They're waving to the
This
camera.
gang
They said,
gang. He
"Hey."
gang gang. Gang
They
gang.
said, hey, y'all.
Man, that's it, because they don't
Yeah.
gotta go to work now, and they can
Yep.
drink all day
Yep.
and boat through the city.
It's been
Yeah.
us since high school.
Man,
It's been us three since high school.
man, this is
Honestly.
And just
man,
enjoying it, you know?
He's living his best life.
Taking it all in,
With the flamingo floating.
man.
you know? Fred Durst
Hey.
is my cousin.
Man, what a way to enjoy
You
it.
gotta be careful before the cars come, though.
He's fine. This guy's bulletproof.
Oh, break out the skis and let it fly.
No way.
I'm down with this.
That's so crazy.
Man, you could just be skiing for days. We'll be right back with more Ridiculousness. Okay, either of you ever been caught in a small twister?
A tornado?
Yeah, you know, like one of the tornadoes, not a real tornado. Like a real tornado, of course, would rip out your window, spin you, and toss you in to where do you go when you go through a tornado?
The eye?
Oz.
Oz. You go to Oz.
Oh, I didn't.
That
Oh,
is
it's the
correct.
Oz, like the Wizard of Oz?
Right, that's right.
Okay.
Specifically the land of Oz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where the wizard is overseeing everything. So no, not that one. You know, one of those little dusty ones that pops up and like you could actually
Like a
ride
tumbleweed goes across the
it. Yeah, have you
street.
ever got involved?
No.
Yeah,
Can't
not
say I
in-
have. Sounds like a bucket list thing, though.
No, hey, no.
It sounds enjoyable.
I slept through a tornado, my mama told me. Like one time I was asleep in her house, not too long ago, maybe like 4 years ago, and I was asleep in the basement, and she was like, yeah, I know, random. And she was like, you can sleep through a tornado. And I was like, all right, whatever, cool. Flew out, land, find out there was a real tornado in Chicago at some point, and she said I slept through it.
No, it's hard for me I got shocked because the fact that I wouldn't hear a twister story over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Right.
4 years in our lifetime here might as well have been like within the last like couple weeks.
That's true.
Certainly a story I should have already known about. But this category is filled with people getting caught in not dangerous tornadoes, just tiny twisters. Take a look. Is it dangerous?
That's
Is
insane.
it dangerous? Should
How
you
does
get
that
up? You're gonna
happen?
ride it out. You're gonna ride it out. Look, he's an expert. He's expert level because he knows, man. You just hold
duck.
your hat and duck.
See, he's got enough like power bottom to stay there too, though.
How did he?
He's thick enough to sit through this.
It's an unusual way to phrase it, but he's got a power bottom.
What?
Yo,
Oh, where do I go?
storm at the beach.
That's getting somebody.
It's getting crazy.
Someone is in that.
Yeah, there goes somebody right there. I'm
Man,
going
somebody
back.
was in there.
I gotta
Is
go
there
back.
a body in there? Go
Yeah, I
back.
saw a body on the ground right here.
Oh.
Holding on for dear life.
Is that a foot?
Oh,
Hey, you got
man.
ran through. Oh, this is a technique. You get caught in a tiny twister, you sit down and tuck your head.
It might really be.
Man, now I really want to experience one.
Whoa.
Run to the eye! Run to the danger!
Is this like a deleted scene from Nope? What's going on?
I'm saying, like, why are you running to the eye?
Like, into it.
I feel like they get in there and they're all in there. There's just
Bruh,
no action in the
You
middle.
gotta be instantly blind. Why?
It's like a thing.
Rather this than war.
Yeah, it's like,
They're running away from the war.
oh, it's heating up.
Yeah, that one gonna grow.
It's a trampoline.
Trampoline.
Man.
Trampoline. Oh, is it gonna drop back down?
Hey, man. There's somebody who thought this
yeah.
Hell yeah, we make it.
He wanted that.
Man. Oh. There's somebody like 4 houses down. Swear to God, UFO was here.
Yeah, for sure.
Aliens, I swear to God, I'm not making it up. I saw it. Worst case scenario. Worst case scenario.
This lady is not helping anything.
Man. Man, you want to talk about a launch of a lifetime. That's how you do it. You want to have a good time. We'll be right back with more Ridiculousness. Okay, they say there's no business like snow business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who says that?
I was just gonna say that.
Frosty?
Hey, people that love snow.
I like
You know what I
snow.
mean? There's people that just love snow.
Yeah.
I love it in
Okay.
doses.
Look, there's people that don't like doses of snow. They like snow as a lifestyle, okay?
That's
and they
true.
also love sports.
That's true.
Okay? And there's two worlds collide.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
No, they don't fit. I'm talking about track and field, guy who loves to jog but also loves snow. What's he
Okay.
doing? He's going for cold jogs. You know what I mean? And this category is that type of person that loves snow and loves sports. Take a look at Make Snow Difference. Coming in hot.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Why you got gloves on the hoop, though?
You'd at least have a sweatshirt on if you're gonna have gloves.
I know, like, it's so crazy. People who live in this type of climate always are just in t-shirts.
He's just not really a basketball player. I'm going inside. Yeah, he gave up pretty quick.
Oh, here they are.
Like, shovel it,
Getting them
leave.
shots in.
He's not letting
Man.
the ball drop at all. He catches it every time.
Man. Here we go. Pop it. I was about to say, man, if he doesn't miss a single shot.
He missed the first, didn't he?
Nah.
He missed that first one.
Pop it.
Air ball.
Is that an air ball? I
He
really
misses
thought
the
he
third.
back-to-back switched it. It was air ball, man.
Like,
Just
why
cancel
not-
the game.
Why not postpone
Just
the game?
cancel the game. It's not like,
Why do this?
well, just,
They just slid him back 10 yards right there.
you can just slide the whole team.
Yeah.
Come on.
You haven't played till you played in that. You're like, I don't play there. All right?
This is like when the parents in the school was like, man, we are definitely not going to try to play this again on another Friday. This
Yeah.
is it. Oh, here we
What am I looking
go.
at?
You give me just a bit of room and I'm going to work out.
He might have made that space for himself.
Yeah. Man, like he might have been jogging here for so much that he finally melted it away.
Yeah, he just breathed on it.
There you have it for Make Snow Difference.